Is this turning out to be the World Cup of the underdog or what? Brazil were held to a 1-all draw against Switzerland yesterday. Germany, the defending world champions, lost to Mexico, and now England will hope to avoid the same fate when they take on Tunisia tonight in Group G action from the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Good afternoon, guys. I'm Suyash, and I'm going to be taking you through the England versus Tunisia game tonight. Big game for England, and as England fans in Russia keep singing "Vardy's on fire, your defense is terrified" to the tune of "Free from Desire," there's a lot of other things that the England squad is free from this World Cup. Pressure, stress, and most importantly, expectations. The England squad has always been placed under massive expectations leading up to either Euros or World Cups, but it just feels a little different this year. They're under a manager called Gareth Southgate, who's instilled a sense of calm within the group. Everyone seems to be knowing what their strengths are, why they're in the team, and the team again has been made in his own image, where he feels that he's got exactly the right kind of players to execute the roles he wants them to play. But Tunisia are a well-organized side, they're a well-drilled side, they haven't lost many friendlies leading up to the World Cup, and they're going to pose a very tough job for England tonight in Group G. Let's go through the England lineup now, and it's an interesting touch by the Times, where they've actually come up with childhood photographs of the whole England squad, and with the caption that says "Live your childhood dreams." Now we're expected to see Harry Maguire start in central defence, and the England squad has, by the way, already been told what the starting lineup is. Again, not a lot of managers like to do that, but Gareth Southgate has already gone ahead and told his England players what the starting lineup is going to be. So he's instilled that sense of faith in them, and he's also given them enough time to mull over it and think about their jobs before the big game actually arises. But England can be expected to go in with three central defenders today. Kyle Walker and Kieran Trippier both may as well start, depending on the fitness and availability of both, which means that Kyle Walker, the Tottenham right back, is going to, I beg your pardon, the Man City right back, ex-Tottenham right back, is going to slot in the right side of a three-man defence, probably with Harry Maguire as the other defender and one in the middle. At left back, you're going to have Ashley Young, most probably of Man United, who's actually played there the whole season under Jose Mourinho, and continuing in a trend of English left backs, right-footed English left backs, because you saw James Milner, who's now retired from international duty, do that so successfully for Liverpool last season. Again, premium utility player who's not a part of the England squad, and one actually wonders whether England will miss his utilitarian qualities in the World Cup to come. Only time will tell. But in the centre of the park, England do look solid. Jordan Henderson, ex-captain, who's now been stripped of his captaincy and which has been handed over to Harry Kane. Stripped would actually be a harsh word to use, because Jordan Henderson proved to be a very adept captain, but Gareth Southgate wants him to perform without the added pressures of captaincy, and he feels that Harry Kane, with the season he's had after scoring his third after scoring more than 30 goals in his third successive season, he feels that Harry Kane will be able to take on more of the responsibility for the England squad. But Jordan Henderson will act as that pivot right above the midfielders. Ahead of him, you can expect Dele Alli and Jesse Lingard to start, and up top, of course, you're going to have Raheem Sterling and Harry Kane. Harry Kane again back off a fantastic season for Tottenham. Again, not finishing as title holders as he would want to, and now increasingly murmurs are growing in England that Harry Kane might be looking for a move away from Tottenham Hotspur. But that's highly unlikely if you ask me, because there's a new stadium being built. Harry Kane is at the helm of affairs. He's the main guy in the team, and Mauricio Pochettino would actually be looking at him to take the team forward and build the whole team around him. But coming back to the atmosphere in the England squad, there's been an uncharacteristic sense of calm. In fact, BBC head journalist Phil McNulty actually made this observation that 2 years back, when Joe Hart was talking to the media right ahead of the Euro 2016 tournament, where England actually crashed out after losing to Iceland, he was asked about a darts tournament that was organized between the players, and Joe Hart, again in a good-humoured comment, rather unflinchingly did not choose to respond to that, and that kind of just turned the mood a little sour for the media and the England camp alike. Now look at the contrast after 2 years. You have a young team, you have a hungry team, a team that doesn't have any expectations on them, yet at the same time many believe this could be one of the most talented group of English players to take to a World Cup. And irony of all ironies, you have a darts tournament that was organized between players and media. There seems to be a lot of bonhomie going on between the players and the media, and the English media has uncharacteristically been off the heads of the England players. No added pressure, but yet to see if that's going to actually help the England team going forward. coming to Tunisia now. Interestingly, England manager Gareth Southgate was actually in the England team when England met Tunisia last in the World Cup, which was in the 1998 edition in France. England went on to win 2-0 that day, and he'll be hoping he could emulate that and repeat that achievement. But Southgate has gone on and said that Tunisia is not going to pose an easy challenge. The Tunisian coach has also gone ahead and said that, look, we're physically a much more improved side than we were a couple of years back. They have the guts and the gumption to compete at the World Cup, and they'll really be hoping that out of the African nations, Tunisia, they can raise the profile of African football the most. Because if you look at the other teams, you have Senegal, you have Egypt. You have Nigeria, who lost in their last game. They haven't really been able to make a good representation of African football so far. In fact, even if you talk about the Asian teams, they haven't really made much of an impact. In fact, South Korea will be taking on their opponents in the first group game today, and it will be interesting to see how they go about. But in the same vein, talking about teams from Africa, Tunisia would really hope that after Egypt dropped points and they drew, they could be the team that could actually go ahead and make a statement and say, look, we're an African team, but we're not going to be overawed by the competition, we're not going to be overawed by the occasion, and we're going to go out and do our best. Now, the mood of the squad after the EPL season is understandably mixed, because you have the pivot Jordan Henderson, who had a good season with Liverpool, but again lost the Champions League final, and he'd actually be looking forward to the World Cup to banish the ghost of the Champions League final, which Liverpool unfortunately lost 3-1 to Real Madrid, with Karius making 2 huge goalkeeping errors. But you have Man City players Raheem Sterling, you have Man City player Kyle Walker, who have been phenomenal throughout the season, and Man City have run away with the Premier League title. Imagine the confidence flowing through the veins of the likes of Sterling, of the likes of Walker, who know they've contributed positively to a team over the whole course of a season, and they're going to continue that into the World Cup. Now that will count for a lot coming into a tournament like this, because confidence is key, confidence is everything. You saw Brazil struggle against Switzerland a little yesterday after Switzerland scored the equalizer. Again, whether it was a confidence issue, one doesn't know, but one does know that if England performs to the best of their abilities with confidence, they should be able to get the job done against Tunisia. Again, like it's the World Cup, you never know what's going to happen. And on that note, I'm going to read out a few team facts from Tunisia and England. Before that, concentrating a bit on the main players that Tunisia has got now. Wahabi Khazri of Sunderland is a Tunisian, and he's arguably their main player as the creative force apart from the other 2 wide forwards, and he's going to be running things and pulling strings together, getting the passes across, and making sure that Tunisia have a good attack going forward. But the biggest blow is that Yusuf Msakani, their striker, is absent from the game, and whether that will actually prove to be a hindrance in the end for Tunisia, only time will tell. England actually also have a strong bench if you look at it, because they have the option of bringing on players like Jamie Vardy, who's had a fantastic season with Leicester again, and he sort of seemed to found his groove, that you know that Jamie Vardy is always going to give you those 10-15 goals a season. That's the kind of player that England have the capability of bringing off the bench. If he doesn't start, which I'm quite positive Jamie Vardy won't start, but as followers of the English Premier League, as a people who love to follow the English League more than any other league, I have a soft spot for England, and I hope they actually go on to do well in this tournament. Not sure about a lot of other people, because England has officially become the banter team of the World Cup. They don't take themselves very seriously, especially this time when they know that expectations are low and they can truly go out and play their natural game. I'm going to leave you guys with a couple of quotes today leading up to the game. I'm going to see how England will do in this game. Mark Lawrence, the Liverpool legend, has actually predicted a 2-0 win for England. I think it'll be closer. I think England will get scored on, but I think England will score against Tunisia as well. And I predicted 3-1 tonight. Head to head now. Tunisia and England last met in the opening group game of the 1998 World Cup. England won 2-0 in Marseille, like I earlier told you, and they would hope to be repeating the same feat. Tunisia have failed to win the last 11 games at World Cups and triumphing in their first ever match against Mexico in 1978. That's a wretched record in World Cups. If you haven't managed to win a single game ever when you've played in the World Cup, England would be licking their lips and thinking, well, this is an easy 3 points in the bag. But like I said, nothing said till it's done. And England have never lost against an African team at the World Cup. They've won 3 games and they've drawn 2 games. That's a good sign for them. They've topped their group just once though in their last 5 World Cups in 2006. A quarterfinal finish for England would be the bare minimum that fans are expecting this time. They're expected to get out of the group because it's not the toughest of groups, but again, it's England. One never knows what they're going to get out of him. My prediction, if you ask me, 3 goals for England, 1 goal for Tunisia. I haven't got many predictions right so far this time in the tournament. I think the English boys will go on and do me proud and make sure that I get on the right side of the predictions this time. I'll see you guys tomorrow in another preview in the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Till then, guys, bye bye.